Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF, joined as always by my main man at FF Snoog, and back in the host chair again, my man Sean Owens. How you doing tonight, brother?
What's going on? Happy to be here, guys. Happy to be here.
Hey, we're excited because I think this is going to be a fun show. We got a lot of injuries going on. Now it's time to separate the men from the boys, Snoog. I mean, I have seen more trades in the Smash Accept leagues in the last 24 hours than I have in the last month. Everybody knows if they're rebuilding or contending now. People that are rebuilding are just shedding points off their team. People that are contending, they're going out there and they're getting their McCaffreys, they're getting their Rico Dowdles. It's a wild time. It's the wild, wild west. And we got 22 trades lined up for this show. We got a super chat in the docket already. I'm excited.
Once those winter vibes start rolling around, once November starts, creeping up on us, that's when I feel like everyone gets into playoff mode and people start making some big boy trades. So I actually woke up this morning, didn't have trades the past, week in my inbox, and I had 12 in my inbox in all different types of leagues. Leagues I'm rebuilding, leagues I'm contending, people trying to buy Joe Flacco off me, all these different things. So I'm excited. I'm sure the trade show is going to live up to the hype as it always does. It looks like we got a really good, strong group of about 22 trades here, not including some of the super chats that have come in. So I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, they say you can't live off water alone. I can live off dynasty trades. You know what I mean? Like you can live, 3 weeks without food, a month without water. I can't go a day without talking dynasty trades. So let's get it going. Here's the first one right off the bat. It's your show now, Sean. Let it rock.
Let's run. So thank you, Jaime, for the super chat. Super chat before the show started. The dedication is real with Jaime, so appreciate that. All right, so we have a redraft league here. We got Ferguson as tight end. Does he take Loveland or RJ Harvey in waivers? His running backs, Gibbs, Jacobs, Judkins, pretty stacked. And then he's got a second question. So why don't we start with here? Do we think he needs to jump on the Loveland RJ Harvey trade? Ride it with Ferguson.
If you have, let's be honest, running backs go down a lot quicker than tight ends do. I think Loveland looked fantastic. Again, I'm pretty sure we could all score against the Bengals when it comes to tight ends. They allow the most tight ends, the most fantasy points. Yeah. So I love Loveland, but I think that offense is you're not going to see another 47-point performance in Rome Odunze has a 0. He has a goose egg in there. I think they're going to spread it around a little bit more. But I think RJ Harvey, we've seen him score 5 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Borderline, he's a flex now that you can literally have as a league winner if J.K. Dobbins goes down. So I kind of like that better because you have Warren. If you had a need at tight end, I think Loveland's a perfect fix for a high upside flex. But I mean, Snoog, I know Loveland's your guy there. If you're talking redraft, which guy would you rather have right now?
It's tough because he already has Ferguson. I feel like
Ferguson. Wrong trade. But I got it.
I feel like I would do everything I can to get both. Like there's no way you can't grab both. I'm sure it's probably just like one of those you have no fab and it's like waiver order. So it probably is like you kind of have to take one or the other. In that case, I'd take Harvey because most just regular redraft tight end leagues are just regular tight end premium with no boost. Mm-hmm. So for that, I just prefer the running back slightly because you got Ferguson there, but I don't know. It's close for sure. I think they're both primed to be breakout candidates in the second half of the year. So you're kind of just flipping a coin, rolling with whoever you want to roll with there.
And the second part of the trade, I mean, Warren is his tight end. Do I take Loveland, Mason, Ja'Cory Krosky, Merritt? Honestly, Mason and JCM are borderline cut candidates when it comes to redraft. So in Dynasty, I need them off my roster. It's Loveland for sure. Let's get this show cranking here. Trade one. And I'm going to say this. We have a couple of YouTube, but there's no Twitter on this one. We went strictly Discord. The guys that have been, tried and true in the Discord. We have the link over there, patreon.com/SmashAccept. Still running code Brock50 for 50% off your first month. Also code DAY25 for 25% off your yearly. And I can't say enough of how awesome it's been, the support that you guys have had in there and how much, Snoog and I are grinding to try to get you guys some championships here. These last couple months, I know Snoog and I aren't going to get a ton of sleep, but we're here for it.
All right, let's jump into trade one. We got Big Fish Dog and Chan Hughes in the Discord. So this is kind of the how we're going on this show. Tucker Kraft, unfortunately, at the ACL. So we got Kraft in the late 27 first or Tyler Warren in the 27 third. What do you think, your dad?
And this is in a Smash Accept League. It's Smash Accept 16.
Nice.
I think this is the perfect kind of trade right now. I mean, I personally like the Kraft side. We saw enough from Tucker Kraft that, I don't think, unless Loveland blows up, that we're going to see, anybody else pass him at this point. He's my Dynasty tight end 4. I think he's going to stay in that range. Warren's my tight end 3. I think he's going to stay in that range. I don't think we're going to see a lot of variation there. Right before we were, we had the injury to Tucker Kraft. He was outscoring Warren. I like this from the rebuilding side on the left-hand side. Give me Kraft. If I'm all in, I have no problem with the Warren side. I'd like that to be Warren in a second. But for me, the value's leaning on the Kraft side. Snoog?
Yeah, I'm smashing the Kraft side all day here. I think you could argue that Kraft was better than Warren before the injury at this point. Like, he looked better. He's probably an equal talent, if not better, and he's on an offense that he's the clear-cut number 1 guy and was operating as that. So I think, yeah, the ACL hurts, but getting another 27 first, that 27 first is probably going to be the best player in this entire deal when it's all said and done. So I'll roll with that side.
Hold on. You take a late 20. You think a late 27 first is going to be worth more than Warren or Kraft?
Easily could be 100%.
Man, these guys, I feel like they're both 25. I think they're going to be set it and forget it guys.
They are, but like the way the tight end position is, it's historically known for there being maybe 2 tight ends that are good for more than 3-4 years in the league that are top end guys, like a Gronk, Kelsey. Like even Mark Andrews was like 2-3 years, and then he's kind of down the shitter. A lot of these other top end guys, I just don't think Warren or Kraft are that level of tight ends. They're not Brock Bowers. They're not Trey McBride. They're not young and studs like those guys that are can't miss talents, in my opinion. A late first in an elite class. If you look at, 2024, 2022, 2023, all those classes, like I'd take all those guys at the back end of that first over Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft. Brian Thomas Jr., Lab McConkey, Bo Nix, those guys that were going in that range, all worth more than these guys here. I feel like people get too tied up on just because it's late, it can't be a good pick. This year, yes, but in 2027, that's Cam Coleman or some of these young studs. Like, I think it could change a lot of people's perspective.
Yeah, I think I understand your sentiment from the tight ends, and I think the idea is to insulate no matter what. I just don't think that either of these guys drop to those type of values, especially this is 0.75 tight end premium. But I got you. All right, moving on to trade 2.
All right, trade 2. Lehigh 98, Joe in Discord. We got Jaden Daniels and is that Tucker Kraft? Tucker Kraft and or Hurts and Michael Pittman. So rebuild for contender move right here, Snoog. What do you think?
Hurts over Daniels, and I'll take Pittman over Tucker all day long.
Whoa, wait, what? What? You're taking Michael Pittman over Tucker Kraft?
Oh, I thought it was Trey Tucker.
Sorry, Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft.
No, it's no.
We're going to see just Tucker, not Kraft.
I only see Tucker. That's why I thought it was Trey Tucker. Definitely Hurts over Daniels, though. Not close for me either.
You got Hurts over Daniels now?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm a
it's
little
been
shocked
like that even before the injury.
I'm very shocked by that one. That's for sure. I mean, I still have Daniels above Hurts just because of sheer value in the age there. But I mean, if you're contending, it's Jalen Hurts. But even now that this is Tucker Kraft, you would still take the Jalen Hurts side?
Then it's real close. If it's rebuild, I'm smashing the Daniels side. If I'm contending, I'll take the Hurts side still.
Yeah, I can't do that one. Sean, you breaking the tie on this one?
I see both sides.
They're what, 2 years apart? Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts are like 2 years apart. They're not even that much of an age gap. One's a Super Bowl winner. One's had 5 injuries in 2 years. So it's like, I feel like I'd rather roll with the superstar quarterback that's been doing it.
This is what's fun is most shows, you and I are just in sync. You know what I mean? We're lining up on both of these so far. We've both been on opposite sides, but that's what's good about Dynasty and this time of year is like, if you look at this, if you're contending, I think maybe you could get a little bit more than Pittman, but Pittman's been fantastic. I mean, what is he, wide receiver 7 right now? So he's been really good. I moved him in my rankings recently up to now he's worth a first. You know, like I've been flirting with a second all year. I think he's worth a late first now because he's putting up that type of production, just a little bit older in age here.
All right, we got trade 3, Dynasty Dad and Miju. Tucker Kraft or Travion Henderson 1-for-1 in a 0.75 tight end premium. This is a Smash League.
I can't be in this one, so I'll let you
Yeah.
guys take over.
What do you think, Snoog?
I think it's real fair because the Smash League is 0.75 tight end premium. I like it for Dad because he's rebuilding, and I think Travion Henderson's production should start picking up with the matchups they have coming up right now. You shed a bunch of points, you get a top 4 to 5 tight end in Dynasty and a heavy tight end. Like, realistically, a healthy Tucker Kraft in this format, Travion Henderson's going to need like 350 fantasy points to probably outscore Tucker Kraft. Like, Kraft was probably averaging in probably like 17, 18 points per game in this format this year before injury, something crazy like that. So it's like, it's really just such an advantage there in this type of format. That matters, right, Dad? If it's 0.25,
100%.
I'm probably taking Travion. But 0.75, I'm going to go with the tight end there. But we did talk about it on the show. The Pats, if they just let Travion do his thing, he's got some crazy matchups coming up.
We have, and Sean, in leagues like this, I mean, when you're rebuilding, I don't think people pay attention to this. And I have Tyler Warren as my other tight end. So when you try to shed points, it's really nice to get rid of all of a position, right? Because you play max points for. So it's like when you do these type of moves, now Tucker Kraft just doesn't shed a ton of points because you already have a tight end there. Do you try to move Tyler Warren then after that? Do you try to move him for a wide receiver? Like in an ideal world, you move Tyler Warren and a little bit to get, or you move Tyler Warren for Travis Hunter plus. Do you try to make those kind of moves? Because you're not really shaving the points. You're just getting the value here if you don't have that. And a lot of people say that to me as they're like, well, look, Dad, I got Malik Neighbors. I'm like, you still have 7 wide receivers on your team that are going to put up points. So you're not really shedding the points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a level of knowing where your pick's going to be. We kind of talked about it last week. If you're making this move and it guarantees you the 101, you don't necessarily have to get rid of every player. We kind of talked about that in the past. So you have to really know where your pick's going to fall. I think that's an important part. All right, we have another super chat. Kyle, thank you for the super chat, sir. So Dynasty, he says asking if you should trade Ladd for a 26 mid first and a 27 mid first, so 2 firsts here. A really young team and not winning the year due to injuries.
Yeah, Kyle, that's it. And I love Ladd right now. I mean, Snoog, he's really turned it back around. He struggled the first couple of weeks. I have him wide receiver 10 rest of the schedule just because he's been that good. Herbert's been that good. But like if you're rebuilding, Ladd McConkey goes down to injury, that value goes down. That mid-27 first is going to skyrocket in value. That mid-26 first is your insulation where, Snoog said it with Tucker Kraft. In 2 years, Ladd could be very close to that mid-27 first alone. So you're getting that extra mid-26 first. This is how you do it in rebuild. I like players added in, but I like this a lot. This is a really good trade.
Yeah, I wonder why Ladd had like such a slow start. Like, I wonder if there was an injury that we didn't know about or something because
I think they were trying to get Keenan involved early.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to me, but yeah, I feel like that mid-27 first alone, Dad, like that class is going to be so special that if it's 105 to 107, I would like to hope you can get a Ladd McConkey in that type of caliber of class at the 105. You damn well should be able to. So I think that could end up being a free 26 first in the long run.
Yeah, I like that as well. Buzz Nasty, thank you for the super chat, sir. As a contender, do I move Hunter and who to target? So Hunter's on IR for a few weeks. What do we think here?
I think the Jacoby Myers trade signifies what Travis Hunter's real injury is I think he's going to be, it was looking towards a 4-game IR, but the move for Jacoby Myers as a rental almost speaks to me, especially with the way Parker Washington's played. Parker Washington's been really solid. Yeah. So I think Travis Hunter is going to be out most of the year, if not the rest of the year, or banking on the playoffs. You know what I mean? So if you're a contender, I think there's a lot of options. The best option is if I'm going straight 1-for-1, I got to get T. Higgins level. Like I got to have a T. Higgins or a Devonta Smith, someone that's putting up monster numbers, And Snoog, we always do those pillars. And those are the guys that they're not foundational assets when you talk about a Pittman, a T. Higgins, a Devonta Smith, but damn, they're putting up points, And I think that's what you got to do in this situation. Or you try to get yourself a running back like a Rico Dowdle plus, and that stings though, or you get I don't think you're getting James Cook level.
Use draft capital.
I think you're getting a late first there. And that's where I'm assuming he probably doesn't have the draft capital. So I would like to do it for the wide receiver. That's kind of the range that I'm looking.
Yeah, I agree there. I would try to use draft capital personally to fill that patch. I mean, you're not going to get what you want for him, in my opinion. Like, people are just going to lowball you because of the injury. So you're probably better off throwing him on the IR and going and getting Rico Dowdle for a second or something like that. But yeah,
and
I think
when you're the contender, and you start to shop Travis Hunter, is a totally different game than when the rebuilder comes to you wanting Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? Like, I think you start the bidding war there. There's a lot of leagues right now where there are 3 or 4 teams realizing that Jeremiah Love is insanely better than anything you're going to get at the 102. So they're really trying to aggressively go after that 101. You'd be surprised if you start a bidding war with those couple of guys. So don't just target one team.
Yeah.
And it's not like this year where you have Hampton waiting to hug you at 102. There's a gap in the running back department here. So
yeah,
a little scary. All right. So Q Nodak, thank you for the super chat, sir. We got CD, a mid 26th third, or Tet, a mid 26th first, and a late 26th second.
Snoog?
It's CD for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's CD. I mean, Tet's been good. Tet hasn't been great, and I think CD Lamb down the stretch is going to put up some monster numbers unless you're rebuilding. And if I'm rebuilding, what I would do is I would make this maybe CD in a second for Tet and 2 firsts. But in this particular trade, I'm taking CD Lamb all day long. Love the super chats. They're flying in here. Again, what we always do, if you guys are new to the show, you put in a super chat, we'll answer your question. It can be a roster question. It can be a trade question. It can be what's Snoog's favorite crumble cookie because he's got to take his girlfriend on date night. But, we will answer them at the end. We'll put it in a wheel to give you guys an opportunity for a month of VIP, which is a $20 value. So you throw in a $2 super chat like this, you're nominated in there to potentially get into the Discord for free.
I'm going to leave this one to you, Dad.
Oh, it's my man Tifi Baco. I love it. He's got his He-Man avatar there. Shout out, Dad. Thanks you for the roster review. 10 out of 10 recommend. Glad to get confirmation I'm on the right path and ready to dominate my leagues in 2027. Snoog, we just did our rebuild show, and I got to tell you, we just did how to rebuild mid-season. I have probably gotten 60 DMs of people like, yo, Dad, what's this roster look like? Can we get a review? Am I a contender? Should I push in? And week 10's the time, man. Like, you got to separate the men from the boys. You either go all in or you go all out, but you don't hover in the middle. And we don't do that at Smash Accept. We go one way or another and we commit to it hardcore.
Yeah, that's what you got to do this time of the year, right? Like, if you're kind of like third in your league, second in your league, you better push the chips in to be first in your league. If you're 10th, 11th in your league, then you better be 12th in the league, right? So that's what we say. If you're not first, you're last. We usually say top 2 or bottom 2, but for me, it's first or last. Like, I want all the money, or I want to go all out and get Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith in back-to-back years. So.
Yeah. It's not like when Ricky Bobby's dad comes back and you could be third, you could be fourth, heck, you could even be fifth. No, the hell with that. First or last. That's what we're doing, baby.
Absolutely. So BH417, thank you so much for the super chat, sir. Traded Vidal and a second for Addison last week. Just stopping by to say thanks. Appreciate all the time and effort, guys.
Yo, we worked through that one in the Discord. BH, great guy. We worked through that trade, and I was like, yo, I'm like, Molly's coming over. That's great. I'm like a proud dad when I get these like kind of messages in the Discord. It was like, we're trying to work something. I'm like, I got to put that on my dad fridge. You know what I mean? Like we should start putting trades up on the fridge because that's the kind of stuff that I love to see. It's like we shoot for the stars. We try to get the best possible deals we can. And when it goes through, I almost feel like it's us getting those trades done, which is really a cool opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Oscar Hernandez from YouTube. We have trade number 4 here. Breece Hall and a Lotto 2027 first, or Bucky and a Lotto 26 first.
This is kind of cool. So I threw this one in there because, and shout out to you. We got a lot of YouTube questions recently, and I've been grinding trying to get those in there. Sean, do you play any leagues with the Lotto system?
I don't.
I hate them personally. I'm just gonna throw that out there because I feel like it's also like I hate the FFPC, the way that they do their 101 because it's a toilet bowl to see who gets the 101. Yeah. So the worst team never gets it. So you can't properly rebuild. You got to put yourself in a position to have just bad enough of a team to plug in guys to win yourself a toilet bowl. So like in that one, I won year one because I play in FFPC Pros versus Joes, and they sponsor me to do that. So that's awesome. I love it. So I'm not talking bad on FFPC. I love the company. But, I mean, it's like I won year one, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to rebuild this thing. And it's like, then I got the 104, and then I got the 104 again. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, it's so hard to do. So, Snoog, if you have – we're going to say this is a lotto 101 through 106 because the playoff teams are a little bit different. But if you had to choose between Breece Hall and a random 101 to 106 in 2027, or Bucky and a random 101 to 106 in 2026, how close is this for you?
I'm a gambling man, and that 101 in 2027 screaming my name. I think that lotto 27 pick's probably the best asset in this trade when it's all said and done.
What I said.
When you're gonna make that pick, right? 2 years from now, like that pick versus 25-year-old, 26-year-old Bucky Irving. Like, love Bucky, great player, great talent, top 7 to 8 dynasty running back. But man, that's Jeremiah Love, Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman, some of these studs coming in here, Dad. It's like you're licking your damn chops if you get Jeremiah Smith and Breece Hall for Bucky Irving.
I hate the lotto because if this is Bucky and Jeremiah Love versus Breece Hall in the 106, this sucks. You know what I mean? But like, that's such a hard one. Another comment here, and I love this. Saw this on YouTube from _Buzz on YouTube. Just Googled insulated trades because you guys say it so much. I'm insulating like a mofo now. Thanks. And this cracked me up because, Snoog, we don't necessarily, that's not a term you hear on other podcasts. It's something that we've worked through, and that's why the trades that we do, they make the most sense. You know what I mean? It's like you're insulating down, you're getting extra value, you're always getting a first or a second on top of it. So love that one. And Snoog, this was for you. What is your favorite crumble cookie from Megan?
It's a semi-sweet chocolate chip. I think that's easily the best one. I rotate. It's either just traditional milk chocolate chip, or it's a semi-sweet chocolate chip. Whenever we get crumble, that's what I usually get. She gets all the fancy ones.
My man, when they break out that Tres Leches, come on, come on, absolutely, man. We need to broaden your horizons on this. Megan, make him eat some of these other ones. Let's start working it through. My girlfriend was the same. She's like, I'm trying to cut up here a little bit, and she's like, let's do some crumble. And I'm like, oh man, there's like 1,500 calories per
torture.
Cookie. It's hard.
It's bad.
So bad.
All right, we got trade number 5 here from Dynasty Gene over in Discord. We got Sam Darnold or late 26 first.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm actually taking Darnold now. He's been that good. It's enough.
Yeah.
I'm done throwing shade at Sam Darnold. I'm done saying, like he looked good with the Vikings. And then it was like week 1, you're like, okay. Week 2, you're like, all right. Now, my man put up 35 this past week. Like, he is a top 15 quarterback.
Now he's got Shaheed.
Yeah.
That's a damn good asset for that offense. Like, that is one of those moves that's silently very underrated, Dad, but is going to help.
I wanted him to go to the Bills so bad.
Same,
so bad. That would have been
Patriots.
Unbelievable. This does nothing for Shaheed's stock, but it does for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Shaheed's not going up at all in this particular one. And, a lot of these have some context in them. But, I think this one here, I believe he said he's 7-2 right now. Got hit hard by injuries. He's got Burrow, Mac Jones, Purdy. There's only so much more Mac Jones you can put out there. Sam Darnold is a great pickup at this particular value.
Yeah.
Probably the best value in Superflex right now other than Matthew Stafford, because I think you can get Stafford for an early second. I don't think you're going to, and Stafford, like the last 4 games, 16 touchdowns, 0 picks. My man's like borderline on pace for 44 touchdowns and 4 INTs. That's nuts.
He's playing so good right now.
Yeah, he is. And I think for Darnold, it's kind of ugly, but you can easily win with Darnold right now. He is just playing out of his mind. All right, so Kyle with another super chat. Sunday morning, I traded Golden and Bill for Olave in a dynasty as a strong contender. How'd I do?
Yeah.
Great move.
Bill, course, nice.
Let's just, if you're not on a rebuilding team, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, it's time to sell. We're past time to sell. It's time to use him to tier up. This is a perfect trade. Love this one, Kyle, because like Olave, we just talked about Shaheed. I would argue Chris Olave is the biggest winner in Dynasty from today's trades.
Yep.
Losing Shaheed opens things wide up. He was already getting 13 targets per game. Like Chris Olave could average 14, 15 targets down the stretch. And I think as long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a volume wide receiver 2 with a lot of wide receiver 1 weeks.
Yep. All right. Trade 6 over Leukocyte in Discord.
Well done. I would not even know what to say there.
I guessed, honestly, on that one. 10 team. He's got Dobbs in 226 first and a second, or JJ McCarthy, Gadsden, Tootin, and a third.
He has, just for context, Drake May, Bo Nix, and Herbert on this team already. So given that context, give me Dobbs in the first. I think everybody wants a first. Not everybody wants J.J. McCarthy. Not everybody wants Oronde Gadsden. Not everybody wants Tootin. So I think the second for Tootin, McCarthy for a first, Gadsden for a first, Dobbs for a third. But the fact that you have liquidity, you have some flexibility, that you already have 3 stud quarterbacks, why not? Snoog, I find that likability is so important when it comes to trades. And some people hate J.J. McCarthy. Some people are like, no, I don't want him on my team. I personally don't mind. I'm that way where I don't really have a lot of players where I'm like, dude, I won't touch this. But I think JJ McCarthy value right now is going to be bouncing back. But we have one here
all
from
over the place right now.
Yeah, I found his comment. He made a comment as well, just a normal comment.
Where is it?
It's right after the crumble cookie comment.
Oh gosh! All right, there we go.
All right, Steven, thank you for the super chat, sir. We have, as a contender, trade Rome for Downs, Ricky, and Pitts.
Nope.
No, you're not getting any production. You're like Ricky Purcell has not been on the field. Josh Downs has been passed by Alec Pierce. I mean, Alec Pierce, low key, is a great buy in Dynasty. You can get him for a pair of thirds. He's up to 500 yards and 28 targets in the last 3 weeks. Pitts just isn't it. So I think when people do this, Snoog, and I want to get your input, is like when you're dealing a Rome Odunze and you're talking about on a contender, you sure as hell better be getting a Devontae Adams plus. You know what I mean? Like a player that's going to put you over the top. None of these players should even be in your lineup, in my opinion. Kyle Pitts is a tight end 2. Downs is a wide receiver 4, and Ricky's not even playing. So like I can't advocate doing this. It's got to be somewhere in there. There's got to be picks, or there's got to be Rico or Adams or something that puts you over the top.
One of those trades, you're just trading a foundational asset for no foundational asset. There's no point in doing that, in my opinion.
Also, we have verification.
Megan lying.
Megan straight up saying that Snoog's been double dipping into that, trying to get into. I love it. What is Patrick? Patrick S says, damn, I thought Tinder was bad for rejections, but I even get left out and during the trade show. Devastating. Patrick S, where's your trade here, man? I didn't. All right, here we go. Love this guy. The Smash Accept Discord feeding more families than Snap cards right now. That one probably didn't hit too well for some, but he put on his particular one, holding on Caleb, Dad, clap to that. But man, is he inconsistent. Sean, I mean, if you have, he's one of the biggest questions I get in the Discord. People are like, do I trade Caleb Williams? And I kept saying no, because you get weeks like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when you're playing in the playoffs, you're going to want a guy like this that can put up 45 points on you.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to ride that inconsistency. Remember, he's got a first-year head coach that he's got a complex system, and it showed last week. They're able to score points. Granted, it's the Bengals, but they're going to score points. He has a lot of weapons, so you have to ride the Caleb train.
Yep.
All right, we got Jaime coming back in with another super chat. Thank you. We got Benson, a 26 early second, or Hall in a random third.
Dude. Hall, you shouldn't be getting a pick back at all. Like Breece Hall, I understand that he didn't get traded, and that's what we wanted to see at the deadline there. But he's gone after the year. This, them trading Sauce Gardner, they're like in a deep rebuild. Breece Hall will not be back, and that's great because he could sign with the Chiefs. He could sign wherever he wants, and he seems like the kind of guy that wants to build a legacy. I could see him going somewhere like with Andy Reid and playing with a legit offense. Could you just imagine what that would do for his stock? Like he's a top 5 to 8 running back in the league, Snoog. Like if he goes to the right place, and I think he's going to have a lot of suitors. If he doesn't chase the bag and go somewhere small, if he goes for winning, this dude's stock could skyrocket.
Kind of sad. I wish the Jets traded Garrett Wilson and not Sauce Gardner.
Dude, I know.
I saw Sauce go and I was like, please.
I saw one that said that the Broncos got him, and I'm like, all right, let's get him out. Sutton's, but no, we just.
Wow, imagine Garrett to the Broncos. That would be such a fire spot.
At least they have a defense now, so they got to score everything. Garrett Wilson's going to be on the Jamar Chase and
yeah, he just needs Joe Flacco to throw him 72 balls a game.
Gosh, he had Joe Flacco, and he was averaging 18 points per game as a rookie, and they got rid of him and started Zach Wilson again.
It's crazy. All right, we have a super chat from Zappy. Thank you, Zappy. Contender Superflex 0.75 time in premium. Should he trade Neighbors, a 26 first, an early one, for Judkins, Rome, and Gadsden? So big trade here.
I don't think so. I mean, like I get it. Because the early 26 first and Judkins cancel out for me. Like I would, if I was trying to contend, I would use that early 26 first. Because the only way, to me, Judkins would be the 102 in next year's class. So I would just trade up for Judkins, but I would not trade Malik Neighbors for Rome Odunze and Gadsden right now. I mean, I think Gadsden's playing out of his mind, but I have Rome as my wide receiver 20 rest of the season. Like it's been very volatile of late. It's been 5, 18, 5, 0. I mean, Malik Neighbors, a lot of you guys are really dealing Malik Neighbors, and I think it's gonna be stinging at some point. Malik Neighbors next year is the dynasty wide receiver 1. Like it's going to happen as soon as exactly. So I can't get behind it.
I feel like the most valuable players in that trade is Neighbors, the first, and Judkins, and I feel like you're giving up two of the most valuable players for the third most valuable. The second,
you do the early for Judkins and then give him a late for Gadsden. I think Gadsden's now worth a first. You know what I mean? But I would not. I just can't. I can't do it unless you find someone else that's rebuilding that you can get something else for Rome Odunze right now. Rome's just tough to trust.
Yeah, Rome is great, but it's too many mouths to feed right now. All right, A Chase. Shout out A Chase for the Drake May little profile picture in Discord. That's how every time I see his thing, I'm like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I love that.
What's up, boys? So he's got an 8-team start 9. He's got Ladd and Chase Brown for Nico, Bill, and Fannin today. He's got a pretty stacked running back group: A-Chain, QJ, Hampton, Brown, wide receivers, Lamb, Rasheed, Tet, Egbuka, Puka. He's got a couple things in there. So let's go first. What do you think about the Ladd and Chase Brown?
Snoog, I'll let you go first on this one, bro.
I could not care less for Chase Brown, so I'm going to roll with the Nico side. I actually really like Harold Fannin long term, and I think I take Nico over Ladd, so that's a win for me.
See, I have Ladd over Nico the rest of the season, but Chase Brown, I mean, like with Joe Flacco, the numbers are actually pretty ridiculous. Like he's been putting up. I mean, it was RB5, RB6 the last 2 weeks. I think he finishes as a top 12 running back like the rest of the way, as long as Joe Flacco's arm doesn't fall off. So like I know where that, but value wise, Ladd and Nico are actually pretty close.
Yeah.
But JCM and Fannin, I'm not really interested in an 8-team league. Fannin's a tight end 2 for me.
Oh, wow. So I didn't realize Chase Brown's been good the past 2 weeks.
He's been filthy, actually.
Jets and Bears, but I'll take it.
Hey, he had 17 targets combined the last 2 weeks for 11 receptions, over 100 receiving, 2 touchdowns. And
Jets,
like, he's been balling.
Jets and Bears, but he has the Bills, the Ravens twice, and the Dolphins in the playoff stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get 4 more cupcake matchups. I'm cool with that.
And that's the Chase Brown you thought you were going to see early in the season, where he's getting targets out of the backfield. Like that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Roland, thank you for the super chat. We have A-Chain, Barkley, Hall, Hampton, Vidal, Tootin, Jason, Rome, Pickens, McBride. He's got 327 first too. So should he send Hall for Garrett Wilson, or a late 27 first and Tootin for Nico, or go for both?
I would definitely trade Hall for Wilson.
Yeah.
The second one, I would definitely trade the late first and Tootin for Nico. I mean, you got to take advantage of Snoog. We already talked about it. like some of these guys we're talking about with 27 first, you also got to take advantage of the idea that it might be overvalued on a late one. You know what I mean? Like Tootin in a late first should not get you Nico. If you could do that, you smash that all day. And I think a lot of people just see 27 first. The 2023 class was incredible, right? But like 110 to 112, if you didn't get A-Chain, you were getting Quentin Johnston, Dalton Kincaid, Will Levis. You know, like every class.
Kincaid's looking pretty damn good. I'm kind of excited for Kincaid. Which you probably did sell him. It didn't work out taking him where he was, but he is looking pretty damn good. I'll give it to him.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, we have a super chat from Patrick. Thank you, Patrick.
Spot on.
Yeah, legit trade 5 minutes. I think he said minutes in the comments. So minutes ago, gave T-Law, 5 mon. He gave T-Law Booty a 27 third. He got Vele thrown in there, 27 first and a 26 third. That gives him 6 out of 14, 27 first. And he has made Dart as well. Hard rebuild there.
I mean, you just keep building out before you build up, and Trevor Lawrence is starting to really depreciate, and the short-lived Keyshawn Boutte blow up. You know, he got injured this week, and they're gonna end up drafting a wide receiver there. So whatever you have in New England, they're all gonna depreciate a little bit. We got a new first timer.
First of his name.
Love it.
He said new here and love the content. He's got a 12-team super flex. He's 10th with no 26 first. Traded Penix for Dart.
Woo.
Daniel's owner wants Dart and Rico. Scared of his injuries. What do we think about this one? Getting Daniels here.
No, you're getting Daniels there all day. You got to use. Hey, love the first of his name. A little Game of Thrones there. Also love taking a guy like Rico, who's short-lived for sure, but he's been fantastic. You pair him up with Dart, you get to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is, no matter what you think, I mean, I think that's a great value there. I think Dart is arguably moving up to a top 12 status, but Rico to get you from 12 to wherever I have him at 3 still. Snoog has him in that 4 or 5 range. You're still moving up quite a bit in value. So the fact that you're in that spot, if you can't get your first, you just want to keep building up and getting yourself ready for next year.
What do we think about Dart in his second year, kind of like May, had just transcended and jumped up? Do we think he has another one like that with getting his main guy back next year?
He's got to. I mean,
all the way up.
The fact that May's doing it with no improved weapons, like a better offensive line and Diggs and, nothing really there. I think another year under Daboll, you get, hopefully draft another offensive lineman to get the line better. Scatabo comes back. I mean, Dart is on that same career path. I like that.
It's crazy. All right, so BHS, another one here. Thank you, sir. Deadline this week. Should he ship Devin Neal for a 4th or hold?
Just hold him. Just hold him at that point. I mean, I have a question here, Snoog, with you, because in Smash Except 9, I'm in there with you, and I have this trade here where I tried to trade Jacoby Brissett to 3 different teams. One of them was starting Cam Ward. One of them was starting like one of them was starting Bryce Young. They're all like, no, it's not worth it. I said, I'm rebuilding. Give me a 4th for Jacoby Brissett. He plays the Cowboys. He's going to give you 30 points or at least 20 some points. I got to talk to you guys because I mean, the idea here is, what pick would you trade for a guaranteed win at this point in the stretch? Like a 4th round pick, I don't even care. I put this in general. He's worth a 3rd now. He's the starter. Let's have a little discussion here about Kyler Murray versus Jacoby Brissett, because Brissett is going to be, if you can't get Joe Flacco, I'm throwing a 3rd out there for Jacoby Brissett all day. But everybody's like, Dad, he's not really worth the 4th for a 1 week. If you have the difference between a bye and playing somebody in week 15, I would pay a 3rd. I don't care. That's the difference between guaranteed money. Talk to me a little bit about how you view that, because a lot of times people get stingy with 3rds and 4ths, and you're like, to not get a deal done or not buy it. I've done that in the past where I'll pay a 4th for Bam Knight when I needed a running back for a week. If I get the win, I get the win, and now all of a sudden I'm in a better spot to win more money.
Yeah, I think I kind of had that same philosophy there. Marcus Mariota is another good guy to kind of toss his name around in there with that rushing upside. Flacco, Brissett, all these, bridge QBs for the year. Just, even if they give you 4 or 5 games as the starter, like go get them. Like go get those guys. And 6-point passing, especially like they get a boost. Rather have, a couple extra starting quarterbacks on the bench for when playoffs start coming through than when my starting quarterback goes down in week 15 and I have to give up a first plus for Tua. Like people will do that to you too. Like I've had people literally hold me hostage and overpay like you wouldn't believe for a quarterback, and I'll literally just be like, I'm fine starting someone that's not a quarterback at Superflex at this point.
In the offseason, you could pick up a third like super easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're not going to be able to get a quarterback as cheap. Joe Flacco is going to probably cost you a late second now. I don't want to pay that, but I'll pay a third for Jacoby Brissett all day because he's put up very serviceable numbers. What are you doing right now, Sean, with Kyler Murray? I mean, I have 3 rebuilding teams, and I was worried Murray was coming back and going to ruin my 101. Yeah. I think he's still a starter, clearly, but I think he's got to move on. I think they got to move off him, but I'm buying, I think somebody would sell him to you for what, a mid to early second now? Is he worth a first still?
I think he is. There's too much uncertainty around his foot. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's long-term, but we have Brissett already starting this week. In my home league, Brissett went for a third, and I was kind of shocked. And then I bought him for a fourth the 10 minutes later in Smash 18 because I needed a quarterback, and there he is, another week. So I don't know. I think he's still worth the first. He's too young. I think Call of Duty's coming out in a week or so, and I think that's really what's holding him back.
The difference here to me is it doesn't say – they didn't say they did not say Kyler Murray is not healthy and needs more time. The report that came out from Arizona says Jacoby Brissett named starter. That's a different game.
Correct.
So this is his job now until further notice, as opposed to Kyler Murray's not ready to play this week.
Yeah, and if you have a Cardinal, you're happy because they're getting more targets.
Oh yeah,
touchdowns.
And Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. This is better for everybody.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, we have Trey 7. Has no gun skill. There we go. B_ has no gun skill. This is a big one. We got Puka or BTJ, Egbuka, and a fourth here. I think the fourth is just thrown in. So what we think this 2-for-1 heavy hitter wide receiver trade. Snoog, what do you think?
I'm going to take BTJ and Egbuka here. I think you get a top 8 wide receiver and a top, 14 to 15 wide receiver in BTJ. Yeah. I'll take that 2-for-1 all day here. But, I mean, it's close. Kind of banking on BTJ to bounce back here, but I'm willing to do it, especially in a rebuild. I like this trade more in a rebuild. If I'm a team that has BTJ on the bench and have a couple other guys on the bench and have the depth to do this, I probably would do it. But if I'm rebuilding, I like getting 2 young stud receivers.
The value is obviously on the BTJ Egbuka side. But, I mean, if you're trying to win, if you're going all in, this isn't a trade that I like to make, trading 2 young wide receivers, arguably both of them with depressed value at the current moment. Yeah. But Puka is your league winner. Like, Puka's going to put up insane numbers with Stafford over these. I have him ranked as my wide receiver 2 rest of the season. So it's Chase and then it's him. And you could argue him over Chase, given the fact that Chase is on bye this week. So, he is right there at the top. Let's go to, where were we at? Number 9.
Drew.
No, number 8. S Doctor
Fantasy MD in Discord. We got ETN, Puka, or the 26 101 in the mid to late 26 first. What do you think here, Dad?
I think it's a free ETN. I think if I'm rebuilding, I do want the 101 side. I think that if it's 26 mid and the 101, we talk about where Genty was going last year, mid second round. I think Jeremiah Love, as long as he doesn't get injured, is going to be an early third to mid second startup pick. Puka's going to be a late first at this point, the way I would say. So is the gap there enough? I mean, I personally lean towards the 101 side is going to continue to grow. If I'm all in, though, give me Puka and ETN.
Yeah, I think it's a fair deal. I'd probably lean the Puka ETN side slightly here, but Jeremiah Love's going to be so damn good, and you get a first attached. Like Dad said, if you're rebuilding, it's not a bad move to make, but you're getting a top 2 to 3 production wide receiver in Puka Nacua, and then with the ETN there, he's playing lights out lately. In my opinion, he just had a great game against Vegas. So would like to see the Jags kind of keep getting him involved more in the run game and in the passing game like they did.
I think people look at the 26 class and say that it's just bad all around. And I think you can buy the 101. Like, I mean, I made an offer today and to try to get it where I gave up Genty for what I believe will be the 101 and another late first. And maybe it won't be, maybe it will be. But I think if you get that, I mean, the gap between Genty and Love, the gap between even trying to trade, a wide receiver, there are only maybe 8 wide receivers that I would put over the 101 at this point. So, I mean, if you guys can get an opportunity to buy low on it, you do it now.
Yeah, absolutely. A Chase with another one. Thank you, A Chase. He's back with a quick one. Let's talk about this. Asked in Discord earlier. Egbuka, Ladd, Judkins for Puka, Kyron, or Jacobs. And then he has a 28 first thrown in as well. He's trying to get him bled for Puka. He wants 3 elite young guys.
I mean, I don't mind getting Jacobs up first and Puka. That sounds like Dad, correct me if I'm wrong. That sounds like I'm pushing in the chips, all in.
Is it Puka, Kyron, or okay? So it's Kyron or Jacobs. So give me Puka, Jacobs in a first. But man, no, you're getting hit hard though. If you could take that 28, man,
Judkins is probably worth Jacobs in a late 28 first, right? Or close to it. Maybe Judkins in a second for Jacobs in a first.
Yeah, I would say that. But I mean, I would not.
So would you do Puka for
Ladd
and
Puka? No. I would not.
Yeah,
I know it's an 8-team, and it's an 8-team league, so I know you got to get your studs, but I would not do that. He's taking you too hard.
Yeah. All right, Quentin with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Superflex rebuild: Rice and Fields, or Jaden Daniels and Braylon Allen. He's got an IR, a bunch of picks. What do we think here?
Yeah, this is the perfect. This is Jaden Daniels all day, and I've seen some deals where you're getting. I mean, Rice and Sam Darnold, but Rice and Fields. I mean, I'm doing that all day. You got to go get Jaden Daniels here. Get another IR guy there. Now you have Burrow and Daniels to go with neighbors plus all those first. That's how winning is done. That's how you do it.
Plus Braylon Allen chilling on IR too. Maybe.
Yeah, I like him too.
Leaving.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
All right, John Menifee, thank you for the super chat. Rebuilding here. Should he trade Judkins, a 27 early second and a 28 mid second for Rome and a mid 27 first? Judkins is only real running back, but value seems too good enough to consider it.
I would do that on a rebuilding team for 2 reasons. I mean, one, you're getting the mid 27 first, where Rome and Judkins are close enough in value. I think they teeter-totter back and forth depending on what kind of week Rome has or Judkins. Their value is very close. But that mid 27 first is going to skyrocket. The second part of that is if it's a rebuilding team, you want to have a RB void anyways. Like you want to have it where you're not scoring any points from your running back position. So I'm taking Rome in the first here. Snoog, what do you think?
Yeah, value is definitely on Rome on the first side. I like Judkins significantly more than Rome Odunze personally. But going from 2 seconds to a mid 27 first is like a massive gap to me. Like
this, yeah.
We have always talked about that, like how many seconds are technically worth a first. It's probably like three and a half. But I'm not turning a first into 3 seconds ever.
I would never do it. If
someone offered me that, I would never do it.
No, never. Wouldn't even consider it. And like that's where I don't think people understand. They're like, oh, it's a first versus second. What's the big deal? But it is, unless you're talking really late.
The only way it's
really
worth
early.
it, Dad, is if you're in the rookie draft and like say it was like one of those situations like for me, like Judkins was falling down boards big time towards the end and he was still like super high for me. And I say he was there at like the 202 and I was there at the 108, I'd be like, all right, give me the 202 or give me that, early second and 2 more seconds and I'll do it. And I get my guy I was going to take there anyways. But like before the rookie draft at all, no chance of doing it.
We can laugh, but is Deshaun Watson, if he's a free agent, is he worth an ad?
I mean, damn well better than Dalen Gabriel.
Because, I mean, Shador's going to start at some point here. They'll probably go back and give Watson another chance potentially with his contract still being there. So why not? Give it a shot. Rudy, new to the show. I love this.
All right, this is a 1 quarterback, 12 team. So 1 quarterback. He's got Allen May, Hampton, Scatterbo, Benson, BTJ, Marv, Pearsall. Daniel's owner wants Allen and has Bijan and Neighbors. What's the target trade to get that one done for him?
Scatterbo and Allen for Bijan. I mean, like whatever you can do to get Bijan. This is if you're a contending team. I mean, you have May and Allen, so that you're on a gold mine here.
Yeah.
The fact that you have Hampton, Scatterbo, you almost feel a little bit more like a rebuilding type. It would be good to know where you're at. But if you can package Allen and Pearsall and get Neighbors, or like take Allen, and because he's 6 years older than Drake May, it looks like there's a lot of rebuilding upside here. Take him and pair him with one of these Pearsall, Scatterbo, and get yourself Neighbors. That's the clear cut way to do. And if you have more context with this one, and Rudy, we appreciate the super chat. I'm at Dynasty Dad FF on Twitter. He's at FF Snoog. Hit us up or comment in the actual YouTube post, and we'll go a little bit deeper on that one, because that one I think we need a little bit more context to see where you're going. We got BH. His show was already covered because we did Vidal in the second for Addison. I love that. Speaking of Neighbors, we got a trade right here coming in from Yohim.
Yeah, and then after this, we need to hop back to Drew's super chat. So let's do this one, and then we'll hop back. So we have Neighbors in a 27 second, or Rome and Bucky.
Snoog, what do you like there? You got to take Neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good trade. If you're trying, if Bucky comes back and if Rome plays like he did early on in the season, but right now, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
All right, Drew, sorry for that, but let's go ahead and hop into your super chat here. So 10-team super flex, just traded away Darnold, Pittman, a 26 first for CD. We got a big one there. So Murray, JD5, probably done for the season. He's in first, and he has Bijan, Judkins, CD, JJ, Ladd, McBride, but only has Dart, Mariota for quarterback. What do we think here?
I mean, CD Lamb's the value here, but if you don't have a Court McBride, just trade away Darnold, Pittman, 26 first for CD Lamb. Value in itself, CD Lamb's a smash there. The fact that you don't have another quarterback, I think it's now you need to go out there and buy Joe Flacco or Jacoby Brissett, or Stafford. You get something cheap on there. Mariota could put up serviceable numbers. He's done it, especially in PPC leagues where he'll put up decent numbers for you. I think you win this trade, hands down. You gave up a couple guys that are overperforming, in my opinion. Both Pittman and Darnold have played really well, but they're overperforming their current value. So I like this trade. I think you just need to solidify that quarterback position a little bit more here down the stretch. So if you need to make a move, honestly, there's a bunch of moves here we're going to cover here in the next couple of minutes involving Jaden Daniels that have gone to get you Drake May to try to make some of those kind of moves. Since we're a little bit long here on this one, I want to hit a couple of these quick. So Adam from the Discord, I'm going to get you involved into this one, Sean. Sure. Malik Neighbors we keep talking about, or Burden and 26 mid to late first. They all look like they're going to be late.
It feels like you're overpaying, to me at least. And we like the upside of Burden as well. I think if you're rebuilding and you don't like the 26 class at all, I don't mind the Neighbors side. To me, it just seems like you're overpaying a little bit. Yeah. I mean, but I don't think I don't think Burden in 2 first gets it done though. You know what I mean? So that's where you got to get go. Snoog, I mean, and then I'm going to give this back over to you in a second. Downtown Brown on the Discord wants to know Rico or a late 26 first. Are we there now, guys?
Give me the
Are we
close?
I mean, the dude has put up the 3 games he's gotten 20 plus touches. He's been RB2, RB1, RB1.
Yeah. He's him.
This last one was
balling
Green
out. I just feel like a first is rich for a player like that. Like next year could be worth nothing. You know?
He only signed a 1-year deal. So what are the Panthers going to do? They drafted Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd round. Yeah. Then they paid Chuba Hubbard, which made no sense at all because you already had Jonathan Brooks in the waiting who was costing you nothing. So you overpaid on Chuba Hubbard. I mean, what do they do with this? Did he trade Chuba? Do they sign Rico? Is Rico going to go somewhere else and get a bag? I mean, this is a really interesting situation for Rico's value because he's still young. What he's doing on the field, Snoog, like, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is it a flash in the pan? I don't know. He was a top 12 running back down the stretch for the Cowboys at times last year. So I'm there. I'll pay a late 26 first. I don't want to. I'd rather pay a pair of seconds. I'd rather pay a second plus somebody. But I think if you really had to and you can't get somebody else, it's there. All right, Sean, back to you.
All right, trade 14, shots fired. Great name.
I love this one.
Daniels in a 26 first and second, or Darnold and May. 10-team picks mid to late.
So we've already discussed that Darnold's worth a late first. So Daniels in a second or May. This is close now, Snoog. I mean, are you willing to just throw a second on there to say? I mean, Drake May's the truth right now. Yeah. Like honestly, I think the market probably still has Daniels above May, but I want May wherever I can get him. Imagine adding a weapons to this team yet. Drake May just seems like the closer thing to Josh Allen, where Jaden Daniels could either be Lamar Jackson or RG3 at this point.
Yeah, I think
I don't want to. I'm not trying to go there. I wasn't trying to like.
No, I'm a Baylor guy, so that's hard to hear.
I'm definitely. I like May one spot ahead of Daniels right now. I have them. Yeah. They're 5 and 6 or 4 and 5 in my rankings.
If somebody gave you a second, Daniels in a second, would you trade him May?
I probably would.
I don't think I would.
I think I would, but like, you see where this is actually kind of a fun trade, right? Is like if you're rebuilding, you want the Daniels side. If you're contending, and Daniels was
especially
my only quarterback.
If I can make that a 27
I would do that.
I'd be way more likely to do it.
Snoog always wants to make it a 27-1, but nobody else is dealing them. You know, like we all want to do that. It's just like we got to get creative with it.
Trade 15, Brock or Shocker in the Discord. Go to you, Dad. We would think Flacco, Rico, or Fields, Tootin, Jarquez, Hunter.
Flacco Rico.
It's easy.
Yo, that little Flacco Rico. I like the sound of that. Rico. Let's do it. I mean, I wouldn't trade Rico for all three of the right-hand side at this point. I mean, Fields is like kind of dicey. You get Flacco in there, so you get how crazy does it sound to say you trade Justin Fields to get the more stability with a Joe Flacco? Like after week one, people would be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, that's for the future, maybe, but it's tough. Trade 16, Doc Coop in Discord. So I'm going to go to you, Snook, here. A Dunze, a 26 first, and a 27 first, or Kittle Namen-Ra here. So this is a rebuild for contender move.
I'll roll with the Dunze side here. I like getting him and 2 firsts attached. I think Amon-Ra is an absolute stud. There's a big gap between him and Dunze, but I don't think Kittle covers up a 2 first gap for me personally.
Yeah, it's like Kittle for the first, and then that 27 first it rights all ships, right? Like we get those, and we kind of put ourselves into a position to win.
Yep. Trade 17, Johnny Pat in the Discord. We got Scatabo in a 27 second, or Devontae Adams in a 26 third.
Snoog, this is what we call a double win. Like this is one where you win twice. But a contender is going to want the Adams side. So this is where you hold them over the fire a little bit, and you're like, you want Adams, you're going to have to pay. And this is probably started out straight up like Adams for Scatabo, and you're like, no, not going to work for me. So, first of his name is back.
New addition to the last trade, 26 second or third to get is that Kyle Monagai?
Get yourself Kyle Monagai. Monangai at this point. I think I have him worth a late second. So if you can get him for a third, add it into the deal, you do it. He's earned at least the David Montgomery role at this point. I mean, we have not seen that many touches. 29 touches? Swift hasn't seen that at all. And Swift might not be back this week. If he is, I think you just have a high upside insurance piece now the rest of the season where we know he can put up monster numbers if he's given that opportunity. Snoog, I'm not actively going out and buying him like straight up, but if you 212 or Kyle Monangai, I think that's kind of the line right there.
Yeah. A lot of mouths to feed in Chicago, so keep that in mind. Caleb in Discord, we got JMO, Hendo at 27 third, or Brees in a 27 second. We got Snoog shaking it.
Snoog, Hendo all the way.
I'm kind of a little bit closer on this one. I lean the Hendo side, but I think I'm starting to really want to buy Brees Hall. I just feel like the writing's on the wall. He's gone now. Like he's going to 100% be gone. So I think it's just one of those weird trades where nothing really wows me to a point where
getting JMO for JMO and a third for a second is crazy though. Like I'll take JMO.
Well, I have Brees over Henderson still, but I think that could flip flop.
It's almost JMO for the 27-second, which if you like that big threat, it can get you the points. All right, trade 19 here. And Moose. We have Kyler, Neighbors, Woody Marks, and Loveland, and a 26 first, or Bowers, Mayfield, Metcalf, and a third. Starting 9 and a tight end premium here. Who wants
I think with Kyler getting benched, it has to be
Bowers.
It has to be the Bowers side, but like if Kyler was still putting up points right there, that's the crazy part. I think Neighbors and Bowers, before the injuries, before everything happened, they were neck and neck in dynasty value. I think Bowers coming out and putting up that monster game while Neighbors is out changes it quite a bit. Metcalf and Loveland are really close in value. Mayfield, so then it becomes Kyler, Marks in the first, or Mayfield in the third. And if you're trying to win, it's Mayfield. Like if you're trying to rebuild, that left-hand side is really juicy though. Like I would take that left-hand side on a rebuild too.
Yeah. Trade 20, St. Goose in the Discord. We have Daniels or Rashee Rice and Daniel Jones, 12-team Superflex. What do you think?
That's another cowbell for me.
This is the thing. Like we had the other one, Justin Fields. Like I love Rashee Rice, but he is 25, and he's not a quarterback that's going to be putting up foundational numbers like Jaden Daniels. Like you could not even fathom this deal 3 months ago, let alone last week.
No. Trade 21, Hooby Doo in the Discord. Daniels or Love and Pickens?
It's Daniels again. I mean, like
a lot of trades here.
And Daniels these are popping up everywhere. Everybody's like,
is it time we have a conversation about Jordan Love, or is it too soon?
I think we have to wait through the season just because he's a 27-year-old Green Bay Packer quarterback. And they all win the Super Bowl this year.
I really like the talent with him in the deep ball, but man, like everyone wants to go at Stroud's neck.
Yeah.
That dude, Jordan Love, looks so much worse than CJ Stroud did. And he has a great offensive line, a much better offensive-minded coach, and healthy weapons.
The run game,
he was better when the
run game
wasn't good. Like when the run game wasn't good his second year. So like the first year as a starter, he was lighting it up. He was gunslinging, but now they're
not letting him gun. Yeah, they're not letting him gunsling anymore. So he's just like a game manager, very low level. Take a couple deep shots and he misses.
That's not what he's meant for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, trade 22, Old Toby. Yeah, Devontae and Gadsden or Tyler Warren. No tight end premium, half PPR.
This is tough, Snoog.
I'm gonna go with Smitty.
Smitty, I moved from like
Smitty's playing lights out
with his age and everything like that, and the way AJ Brown's been. Like I moved him above AJ Brown for the first time since probably 2022, 2021, like his rookie year. I would take the Devontae Gadsden side as well, and I think he can get it done. 24 super chats, that is awesome. We are going to give away 4 VIP months of the Patreon. Let's hit it right now. So let's get that in there. And guys, I mean, we really appreciate it, all the support. There's your link over there on the side, patreon.com/smash accept. Code Brock50 gets you 50% off 1 month. Give it a try. Code DAY25 for daylight savings gets you 25% off the year. I had one guy message me on TikTok. He's like, I'm waiting until the next code comes out. And he bought 2 years. You know what I mean? He's set up. He's going to be in there for a while. So I love that.
Nice. So let's get that spin going. What's the first one? VIP?
Yeah, we're just going to do all 4 VIP.
Cool. Let's get some new faces in there, hopefully. Yep. That's a new face.
Rudy.
DM Dad or myself on Twitter.
Yep. At Dynasty Dad FF or at FF Snoog, or then you can also put it in the comments in YouTube if you guys don't have Twitter. We'll get it on there. BH, I feel like he wins every single week, and then he's like, for the love of the game. Let's give him a round of applause on that one. I love the cheer meter. 2 more here. First of his name is new. Who else did we have new, Snoog? And we know we had a couple guys that were new to the. I love when first timers get on there. Patrick S. All right, that's 3. The last one here.
I'm not sure. Drew's new. First of his name's new. IX Zappy, I think.
And I believe John's new as well. So this is fantastic. Nice. We love having We love having the support. We love having you guys in the Discord. It's the best place right now. If you do the yearly, honestly, you're going to hit everything, right? You're going to get you through the playoffs, through your rebuild, into the offseason, into your rookie drafts. And there's no busier or better place during rookie drafts, during the offseason where everybody else, we don't call it an offseason as Smash Accept. It's just where we put you guys above everybody else. So, Sean, awesome job in the host chair again. We're just we're throwing you in there in the bullpen situations. You performed like Joe Flacco coming out of the bench. You know what I mean? Like just taking care of business. So we appreciate that. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Follow him on Twitter at Sean T. Owens. I'm at Dynasty Dad FF. He's at FF Snoog. And enjoy the process.